Across the country, racial tensions are a most talked about topic. Recent incidents at Mizzou, Claremont McKenna College, and Yale, however, have revitalized this conversation on college campuses, even here at LMU. We at the Loyolan wanted to give students a chance to voice your opinions on the subject. Can you talk to me a little bit about your experience of racial tensions or non-existent racial tensions here on campus?
The reason I even came here was because this felt like home, in the sense that wherever I go, I feel like I'm welcome. And you don't get that everywhere. I know that for a fact. You don't get that everywhere. I know since the activities at Mizzou, the racial tension that's been spreading across the nation because kids were discriminated at Mizzou, it's been felt here in terms of standing up, I guess, for rights of all minority people, no matter what skin color, what race, no matter who's standing up for who. I know they've tried to do things on this campus that have been supported, and that really shows how LMU goes above and beyond to support the rights of all people. I couldn't be more proud to be on this campus because of that. So, not racial tension, the opposite, racial promotion I've seen on this campus, that's a really good thing. That's a good thing. And when I graduate from here in May, I can look back and tell others that Loyola Marymount is a place of racial inclusiveness. And if you really want to feel a community sense, you should come here.
I don't think it's really in your face and people are really nice, but when I go on Yik Yak, it's a whole different story. There's this whole black-white conflict thing, but I don't feel like in person there is.
It's not so much of individualized racism, I would think, not so much like in like relation or social spaces, more so like institutional racism, like the fact that we don't have a lot of African alumni or African American faculty that are implemented in so many different departments on our college campus in so many different departments. So we want to have more of that, not just in the AFAM department, but in the sciences, in the liberal arts, in the TV and film, so on all platforms. So we have students who have a person to look to as guidance and someone that they can resonate with. We also want more like African American students to come to this campus, not just from private schools, but from all over the community in Los Angeles and abroad and in other states as well. And just to put more emphasis on taking classes that promote diversity and cultural awareness of other people's issues, and just to make sure that we understand that whites on campus should be more open to discussion and be more aware of their privilege.
I'm from the South, so race is a lot different in the two places. I think here it's a lot more relaxed nowadays. Like there's a lot less tension, whereas in the South a lot of time it's still like it's segregated, like not on purpose, just because it's how things are. So I think on campus really there's not a whole lot of diversity here. There's a good amount, but there's not as much as there could be. Where I'm from, there's a lot of racism still around. So it's kind of like something that I see a lot, just like in everyday life. And people that say racism and dead are so wrong.
Have either of you experienced racial tensions yourself, or know someone on campus who has felt this way specifically?
I feel like everyone knows somebody who's experienced it. I know particularly a group of students who tried to get into parties out the back gates after lip sync, and they were turned away from like 3 or 4 parties. And by the 4th party, it was clear it was just because they were a large group of African American students.
And just even in the classroom, when like a professor talks to you or like has a discussion about a certain African American black issue, and they point to you as the sole person that should talk for the entire community, entire demographic of blacks, that kind of puts us in a spot where like where they think that we are one monolithic group, but there are so many variations of being black, and it's a beautiful thing, and we should all acknowledge that we should be able to individualize one another and understand that there's so many different things that come with being black. There isn't one particular person or one particular type of thing that comes with being an African American.
Sometimes, like people who are born here, especially for Asian Americans, tend to be, generally speaking, easier to be accepted. Because I mean, for me and my friend standing right over there, like we were born and raised up in China, so like we totally grew up in different cultures. So it definitely took a lot of time for assimilation. People generally think that like Northeast Asians are good with science, good with math, but the thing is like that stereotype. Although I mean, some of me and my friends, we started learning mathematics when we were like very young, and we finished our calculation. Calculus test when we were like, 16 or 17 and stuff. But it doesn't really mean that we actually like say we are into that kind of stuff. Applying racism to everybody and say that like you hate a specific group is just going to generate more hate. And quoting Dr. MLK, hatred doesn't really work because hatred could only create more hatred. Love is the only solution. I guess that's pretty much like what I want to say.
And this may be just the beginning of a continued dialogue here on LMU's campus. To continue this conversation, check out the Loyolan special issue, both in print and online at laloyolan.com, and feel free to comment or send us a letter to the editor. Also, view Roar's next Talk It Out episode, airing on December 16th on their YouTube channel. From all of us at Student Media, we'd love to hear from you.